Howdy folks, Zach here, back with another video for you guys. Today is January 24th, 2025, and this video is a showcase and a review of a pull session I experienced this morning. So here we are warming up the calves with the load here is just the barbell, so 45 pounds. And then shortly after that, we'll get a weight change. And then we will get to business. I hope everybody's doing well out there today. It's pretty chilly this morning. I think it was 30 degrees or so. 35. It was a little warmer today. Maybe in the 40s. Yeah, so slapping on a plate there. Okay, so markers of hypertrophy stimulus. There it is. How do we feel after the push day? So, chest, oh boy, yeah. Chest, and I felt it this morning when I was doing my warm-ups. My little dynamic warm-up I like to do. Oh, I can actually show you guys, unless you've seen the earlier videos. I start with, I call them self-hugging. Self-hugs, which is just opening the arms all the way up and then coming back in, and it's a stretch, and then I alternate which arm's on top. You stretch in like that, so I'm stretching my back, stretching my chest, biceps, front delts, you get the gist there. So I do 10 of those at like just a moderate speed, and then I do 5 really slow, get like a real stretch on it. And then I do some vertically oriented dynamic, or I guess ballistic warm-up like that, where I hinge at the hips there, and then I stand back up and reach up into the sky, stretch my lats and all that stuff. I do the same thing there. 10 moderate speed, 5 at like a slower pace. And then I've mentioned before that if it's leg day, I'll also do some like leg swings. I'll hold on to the barbell while it's racked there on my squat rack, and then I'll just swing my feet in and out and loosen the hips up and stuff, get the legs all stretched out. Same thing there, 10 moderate, 5 slow for each leg. But back to markers of hypertrophy stimulus. I just love getting down a little sidetrack, don't I? Chest is nuked for sure. Very sore. Painful to flex. Front delts, same situation. They're quite sore. Side delts are actually sore. Finally, after all this time, only had to spam freaking overhead press. Oh boy, that drop set did the trick. Extra little stimulus there, I think. For one IR, this is something I was going to mention as well, you guys. I want to make the next microcycle with you guys. So I don't know if I'm going to do it on camera right now with y'all, or if I'm going to do it tomorrow, maybe after cardio. Maybe I can get up on here, and I wanted to find some way to make it cool on the screen, like make like a graphic or something, and be like, all right, this is going to turn into this. I'm still probably going to do that, but I have to, like, this was today's workout, and here's next week's, right? There's nothing there, so I need to fix that. And then the other thing is that we're going to be doing 1 RR, so that's going to be interesting. Now, got to get through all the markers of hypertrophy stimulus here. Let's see. Of course, these aren't all the markers. What I'm talking about here, this little segment, is evaluating how sore I am, how banged up I am after the previous session. That way I'm constantly, not constantly, but I'm in the mindset of thinking about how to auto-regulate this stuff, add volume, or put in an intensity technique or something like that. So that's the whole purpose for that. So next thing on the menu here, that's how we're feeling after push day. We've moved into our incline curls here, got the 5-pound Nuobels there. Found a nice spot to film at where the lighting looks okay, pretty decent. Getting nice and warmed up, and you'll notice I'm going nice and slow. It helps if you take your time on the warm-up. Do the warm-up reps the same way you're going to do the working set. That way, everything is getting, juiced up and nice and warm and happy and wonderful the way it will whenever you're actually doing the set. So that's kind of my logic there. Now, I mentioned yesterday that we were likely, because of the previous sessions, these incline curls are just not providing that robust of a stimulus, and I really value my time. One of the big things I try not to do is add in a whole bunch of exercises and a whole bunch of sets, so I'm in the gym for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't want to do that. I have other things in my life that are very important to me that I want to do and that require my attention. Moving up to our working weight here. So, because of all those time constraints and things like that, one of the things that I'm going to be doing is adding in intensity techniques it's not a direct exchange with volume because that's its own whole ball game there, but we're getting into pushing more stimulus into the muscle is what we're talking about here, essentially. Okay, and so what we did here is something called myo-rep matching. So here's what I did. And I guess real quick, let me just talk about performance on those calf raises today. It was solid 23, 20, and 13 on the third set. So that's way down on the third set. And that's because one of the things that I did was lock in the bar really close to my body and really try to slow down the eccentrics. So I lost a bunch of reps there because and I was also sped up. I had something I had to get to, so I was burning through those, like very minimal rest time. So not really reflective of my strategic progress here, but I digress. Once again, I'm sure you guys are shocked by that. So, incline curls, myo-rep match. This first set we did 15. So what does this mean? How do we apply this intensity technique? So 15. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's just getting juicy. Look at this. Oof. So 15 right there, that was about 1 rep away from failure, because if I would have done another rep there, and I would say that looked about right as far as slowing down on those last 3 reps or so, and then especially that last rep, for sure. And I remember how painful it was. So what am I doing on this set? So as we watch here, I got 15 on that first set. So this second set, I'm going to get to 11. And by that point, I'm starting to get pretty close to failure. Only another couple reps and I would be at 1 RR. But what I'm going to do here instead is once I get to 11 and I feel like I'm about maybe 2 RAR, I am going to take a couple seconds rest, prop the dumbbells up, stop using the biceps for maybe like 5 seconds, 10 maximum, and then go again until I hit the number of reps I got on the first set. So I was at 11. I get to 11 reps here, and then I rest for a second. You guys will see. Pause for a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then We're back in, and then I bust out about 4 more reps here. We're trying to match the same number of reps by using these little tiny mini sets. And the whole idea behind that strategy is there's this concept, right, of approaching failure. That's what this whole RIR business is about, reps in reserve. RPE is similar, but that's more so about how difficult it is to perform the movement. I don't really prefer, I've never tried to use RPE, actually. So that really, I use RIR because it's a tool I know how to use. It's the only one I've tested. So that's what I'm using right now. But essentially, the MyoRep matches allows me to, in this instance, for one set, I got 2 approaches to failure. And then we'll see in my final set on dumbbell incline curls here, I actually got 3 approaches to failure. So if I just did straight sets and got to similar RIR on those straight sets that I do on all of these approaches here, I would need to do, how many sets is that? 6 sets to get that same number of approaches. Now, I'm sure it's not, like 1-to-1 identical, but the concept definitely makes sense, getting close to failure like that. And the data does seem to suggest that those approaches to failure, those like last few sets getting close to failure, are the ones that are the most stimulative to muscle growth. And so something like MyoRep Match fits perfectly in a hypertrophy program. So definitely give it a try if you guys are, if you find that you're, especially on biceps, I think side delts are the same way, calves are the same way. There's several muscles that they can just, for whatever reason, they can take a lot of abuse, probably evolutionarily, I would imagine. They're probably muscles that are used for a lot of just small kind of like busy activities. And so they can just take a lot of wear and tear. And so when you're trying to grow them, you have to wear and tear them extra. So that's the idea there with the MyoRep Match. So technique was looking good on that. I didn't really get to assess. I want to, we'll get to it eventually, but there's no rush, guys. Just watching some reps with you guys. I did actually assess for reps in reserve there, so that was something that I wanted to do. So I'm glad we got to do that. Now we're on to the pull-ups here. So one of the things, if you give me a moment to have so wonderful tea. One of the things here with the pull-ups is the band. Because I'm doing the calf raises, pretty sure I did mention this in a previous episode, but the freaking band is a little distracting because I do the calf raises, and so my calves are like fully pumped by the time I'm doing these pull-ups here. And when you put the band on there, it's applying force, right? It's like stretching the calf. I guess it's like this. It's like stretching. It's pulling my foot up and stretching my calf. And so it's the strangest thing. My feet do this little weird, like this little wibbly thing as I'm pulling up. It's like, ugh. It's not that cool, guys. Not the coolest thing, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? The gains, a little wibble foot for some gains. Yeah, I'll do some wibble foot for some gains, okay? No problem there. So that's a little weird, but like I said, I'll take the wibble foots. Now, long length partials. That was the other thing I wanted to mention here. What are we doing there? Long length partials is another intensity technique. I guess that's like the 2 words of the day, right? Today, intensity technique. I'm going to just about muscular failure. On pull-ups, I tend to actually pretty much go to, and for sure on these sets, because if I can only do long length partials, we'll see here. Look at this. Okay, full rep. Nice. Still going slow on the way down. controlled. It's not super duper slow. You don't have to crawl your way down the eccentric. You can if you want, milk it a lot, but okay, so starting to fail. Okay, getting a little lower. So I maybe could have done one or two more, and that's essentially what I'm going to do next week and the week after. Like at 0 RIR, I'm basically going to pull on the pull-up bar. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, the lats are already sore, guys. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, and the biceps are too. Hey. Intensity techniques. You know what I'm saying? Shit's intense, y'all. I feel the intensity in my biceps right now. I feel it. It's good stuff. So, yes, long length partials definitely do their job, but on 0 RIR, y'all are going to see me. I'm going to be doing little tiny micro reps there. All right, so warming up here for the barbell deficit flexion rows on a 45-pound plate in a garage. Amine Domine. Amen. To the gains gods, the gods of gains. So what do we have to talk about on flexion rows? So they're starting to feel pretty locked in, actually. For a little while here, they've been a little bit schwibbly on me. Like sometimes it feels like I'm getting some hamstring stimulus, like I'm hinging at the hips too much. And so you guys will kind of see one of the things I've focused on. One of the things I focused on here during this session was locking the lower body in place. It doesn't move back too much at the top and the bottom. You can see there's a couple inches there, butt's moving forward, but I'm trying my best to control it, and that helped a lot. My lower body was way less fatigued during this session, and that's really what I'm going for here, because that was something I was noticing. Sure, it was working my back, but my like rhomboids and a lot of the other like mid-back musculature, even the like upper back and stuff, wasn't really feeling like it was getting worked too much. The spinal erectors were, but even then, not that great. But here, kind of applying a little, trying to really keep the lower body tense and then allowing myself to bend. You can see the nice bend in my back, the rounding, allowing it to bend and stretch, and then using that to start the movement, but the tough part is coming out of it slowly, because you don't want to like just lurch back super fast. When you have a decent bend in your back, you'll snap some shit up. So I'm like accelerating, using the spinal erectors to start the acceleration, and then once I'm a couple inches up, it all seems to kind of happen at once. I ought to slow it down one of these days and actually look at how my slow-mo form looks. That might be kind of cool, actually. But essentially, it's not like a explosion from the bottom. It's an acceleration to the top of to the peak contraction of all the back there. And then one thing I do need to do, though, maybe I should pause. Do I want to try that? I think I do, especially because I feel like my upper back muscles haven't been... I'm like, this is so crazy, because I feel like me doing this, making these videos and watching this, it's like I'm finding new ways to torture myself to grow muscle. But I mean, it's good, you know? That's the whole point. If I want to do well in this show and have the showing that I feel like my genetics and my capabilities are in line with, then you know what? I should do these things. So I appreciate you guys watching, especially anyone who's still here listening to me yap on. I hope you guys are enjoying the face cam. I'm really trying to find ways to make these videos more interesting and more palatable for everybody. So I appreciate it, guys. Hope you all have a good one. See ya.